Hello everyone, today I'm going to explain how links work in Illustrator. From any illustration you can now generate links. A link is a simple URL that you can send to a customer or anybody interested in viewing the content of an illustration, and by a simple click on that link that person will be asked to enter a password. So two steps: click on the link, enter a password, and the illustration will show up on their screen. So how does that work? So I'm going to start Illustrator here, click here, and I will see a list of illustrations. Before we go into the illustration and generate links for that illustration, I just want to mention that that illustration has to be public. Okay, by the time of the generation of links it can be private, but if anybody clicks on that link and enters a password and the illustration is private, non-public, then that person will not be able to view the illustration. So let's select an illustration. Here we have a few visualizations, and we see here, for example, this closed-ended question is a list of products. Okay, so I just mentioned that because, so if I click here on Juice Jumble, click here, I see that all my visualizations are redrawn based on that filter. We have now a base of 119 Juice Jumble users. So let's imagine that, let's now remove the filter. Imagine that we want to send a specific, that exact illustration filtered on each of these to each product manager. So we want to send that illustration filtered on 119 people to the Juice Jumble product manager. You can also think about region managers or anything like that. And so the illustration links will enable you to do that. So how to generate links? Click on the main option icon here, and there is a new tab now called links here. So click on the links tab. If you click now here on generate illustration links, it will generate one link for that illustration. Okay, but that's not what we want to do. We want to do some more advanced things. We want to generate a link for each of these categories. So you select the question at hand, name choice. Okay, and by default all the different codes of that questions are selected. So we can now generate illustration links. Let's click on that button. It takes 1 or 2 seconds, and what you receive back is a list of links, okay, with a list of associated password and the filter name. Okay, so you could copy paste that from here just like this. Copy paste and put it into Excel or Word or anything, or you can go at the bottom here, click on the Excel button, and it will generate an Excel file that contains everything you need. So you have basically two tabs: a links table with all the links, the passwords and the filter names, and a links column, which is exactly the same information, but it's in a column format. So you have the title of the filter, the link, and the associated password. Probably easier to select these and send them around, whatever. Okay, so we just generated a set of links that represent an illustration filtered by a specific code. Okay, so what we want to do now is to open up one of these links, one of these filtered illustration. Okay, so let's just keep that Excel file open, but let's close the browser instance here. Okay, so all we have now is the Excel file with links and passwords. So let's simply, two ways to do that. We can click on one of these links, or we can copy paste that into our browser address bar. So let's click on that link, and what will happen is it will open the browser with that link. Okay, so now we have to type the password in. So let's go back to the Excel file here and click here, right click and say copy, minimize the Excel file, and we're going to copy the password here. Okay, and now we can click on sign in, and what will happen is this: it will open that illustration filtered on name choice equals Juice Jumble, and you see here that question now only displays the people who said Juice Jumble. Okay, and we have a base here of 119 people which is the number of people who answered that. So the product manager of Juice Jumble can now look at all the results for that product. Okay, so gender, male. That doesn't mean you cannot filter further down. Okay, this is an immutable filter. You cannot change that filter if you are a reader of that linked illustration, but you can apply subsequent filters. For example, if I click here on females, okay, now I see all the results for the Juice Jumble people who are females.